Welcome back. We are up and away, baby. Yes, we are back. 2025 Superman here 1 week later. It has been a week. It has been a hell of a week. Superman has gone up and away in the box office, but we'll get into that later. Just want to make sure we welcome everybody, saying hello, waving to all the folks that are there. Please be sure to give us a like, share, and, if you don't mind subscribing, that'd be great. Ring the bell. That way you're notified when we drop our next video and when our new show appears and premieres. Got a lot going on. The channel's growing, and we're so happy to welcome back David. How are you, my friend?
I am great. Second time watching this movie.
So
I am ready to go with a lot of my thoughts on this. So
perfect. And of course, it would not be 1 week later without Billy Batson.
I know, wrong hero, but hey, he's DC.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, he is DC. And I'm Joe Dove. You may remember me from such amazing things as everything that's been on this channel for the last 10 years. And we're going to get into the Superman movie. So let's hop right into the... All right, the synopsis. Superman must reconcile his alien Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as a reporter, Clark Kent. As the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way, he soon finds himself in a world that views these as old-fashioned. And that's Superman 2025. Let us get into the cast. So Superman had a star-studded cast because it's James Gunn, and he's going to bring all his friends back. So that's what happens. David Corenswet, who has the best Superman name ever. That is so like Midwestern.
From Philly, apparently.
From Philly?
Yep, I heard.
Wow. Well, he must have moved. Well, whatever. His family must have been out Midwest, and they were like, we got to make money over in Philadelphia, and moved over there. Anyway, he's Superman / Clark Kent. Rachel Brosnahan is Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult is probably one of the more positively favored Lex Luthors in a long time. And Homeboy has the highest pay in the entire cast other than James Gunn. So I think that's pretty dope. We've got Alan Tudyk as Gary, one of the robots. And Bradley Cooper plays Jor-El. Angela Saffron plays Lara. Michael Rucker is Superman Robot number 1. Superman Robot number 5 is Palm Kilimov. The engineer is played by Maria Gabriela. Eve Tessmacher is actually a Portuguese actress named Sarah Sampaio. And I was trying to convince Teddy's handler to kind of come see this now that there's a Portuguese actress in it, but it didn't work. Yeah, and then the guy who's infamous for saying shit all the time, Wendell Pierce, is Perry White. And this sprinkled with some other wonderful people in this. There's a small Guardians of the Galaxy reunion with Bradley Cooper and one of the robots, and then Nivea Howell and Prute Taylor Vince play Ma and Pa Kent. So that is the cast. What do you think of the casting? Is this on the money?
Oh yeah,
I thought it was great. There's a couple particular people that I thought were like perfectly cast. For me, Lois Lane, Rachel Brosnahan. That's how you pronounce her name, right? Rachel.
Yeah, Brosnahan.
Yeah, Brosnahan. Yeah. For me, ever since I saw Miss Maisel, I was like, that's Lois Lane. That's Lois Lane. And actually, and I said this in the Superman musical episode that we did for the upcoming show, that I actually like her better. She's like the best Lois Lane, better than Margaret Kidder, better than Erica Durance. For me, she was perfectly cast. She was like the best Lois Lane ever. So that was my favorite character. But I thought everybody else was perfectly cast. David did a great job of Superman. He pretty much got the character down. It was surprising to see Bradley Cooper as Jor-El. But it was kind of cute because, he's Rocket Raccoon. So,
yeah,
gonna definitely cast him.
Yeah.
I thought the cast of the Daily Planet was really greatly cast. I'll get into that. I have some thoughts on that as well for other stuff for later in the episode. But yeah, perfect. So.
All right, Billy.
I also love the Justice Gang. Can't forget them.
Yeah, you got Green Lantern is played by Nathan Fallon, who the internet is Fillion, excuse me, who's crucifying because they actually wrote his name as Nathan Fallon, like Jimmy Fallon.
Did? Oh wow.
Yeah, not me, but luckily. But somebody, one of the big time papers did that, and they're getting just absolutely slaughtered. So I really appreciate that. Frank Grillo, who played Randall Flagg Sr., Flagg, you remember from the
Creature Commandos.
Yes.
And coming up in season 2 of Peacemaker.
Exactly. He's actually a family friend. My mom's
No way.
Yeah, my mom's chiropractor's brother. So yeah, Dean Grillo is my mother's chiropractor, and he's been friends of ours since the 90s.
We gotta get him on the show.
What's that?
We gotta get him on the show.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go bug Dean. Dean who's probably never gonna watch this, but yeah, Nathan plays Guy Gardner. Hawk Girl is Isabella
Marcad, who was one of the Spider Girls in Madam Web.
Wow!
And she was also Dora from Dora Explorer movie.
Yes,
really? Yeah. Dora. Oh, that's cool. And then Edie Gathegi is Mr. Terrific, who I thought was,
and he was Darwin in X-Men First Class with Nicholas Hoult as who's Beast.
Yeah, so there was 2 reunions, the Guardians and an X-Men First Class reunion on this.
Yep.
Epic movie. All right, well, we got into the cast, we got into the synopsis. Let's talk about what worked. All right, David, since you're our guest from our upcoming show on To Be Seen, we'll kick off with you and then Billy.
Yeah, I thought, the casting was great. I thought the acting was amazing. The action was awesome. The action was incredible. The camera work and how when he was flying and fighting was really unique. He was like following around. The fights were great. There was like little Easter eggs for like Big Billy Burger, the DC Comics fast food chain, Jitters from the Flash coffee shop. There was a lot of like little Easter eggs, which was great. Crypto, I've always wanted Crypto ever since I was a kid to be in a Superman movie. Even the comic books, I always wanted him, it was always been like an argument bring him back and stuff, but he was always like one of my favorite Superman characters. So
were you disappointed that he wasn't voiced by The Rock?
No. Although if there's a Batman movie, Kevin Hart has better be Ace the Hound. No, I'm joking.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But no, it was great. And I love how James Gunn made him into a real dog based on a foster dog he currently has right now. So he acts like a real dog, which is great. The first scene he appears in, he is basically inadvertently torturing Clark because Clark is bleeding in the Arctic, and he's definitely in a lot of pain. He has a broken collapsed lung, and Crypto is like jumping on him like a real dog would do. Like,
yep.
Great. The joke of how they keep him captured is to have virtual super squirrels, which was
that was a fucking brilliant.
That was brilliant. All the like little things like that were brilliant. Like, and they like what I loved about it, they were not ashamed to be like, hey, this is a comic book movie. This is a comic book. One of my favorite scenes, and people actually complain about this, which I don't really, I get it, but I think it's kind of like you're not really getting the movie if you can kind of complain about this. There's a scene where Lois and Clark are having a really deep conversation about the relationship, and in the background, the Justice Gang is fighting a giant like jellyfish, which is apparently Mixie, because they say, I think so, because he says like interdimensional imp, and like I'm thinking, Mixie, and people are going like, oh no, it's distracting, blah blah, and I'm like, no, it's perfect because they live in this insane world where there's constant supervillain fights. And yeah, how are we gonna have a conversation? You're gonna eventually have a conversation. People fight in the background. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Like to live in this world. So I felt like that was great. I thought Nicholas Hoult did a good job as Lex Luthor. I thought even though I saw the Ultraman twist coming a mile away, I thought it was great. I also loved how Lex essentially is almost like a cult leader where he has all these followers and stuff who are like following him, worshiping him, and it's just like you can tell like that's kind of like it's like drawing napalm on top of like with a match on his ego. And what else? Yeah, it was great. And I also loved Eve. Eve was great. She was playing it just like a vapid social, like influencer girl, taking pictures like a moron when there's a gigantic fight that could essentially kill her by like if it goes the wrong way.
Right.
And I loved how Superman was hopeful and aw shucks kind of character. I felt like him saving a squirrel was perfectly on
I
point.
love that scene. That is one of my
just gonna
favorite
mention
scenes
that.
He's
in the movie.
he saves a freaking squirrel, and people are complaining about it. I'm like, guys, like just enjoy the freaking movie. Like this is what Superman's supposed to be, like
Yeah.
I'm tired of like the downer, I'm alienated, kind of like emo Superman. Like I want this.
You mean you're over the Snyderverse? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, don't worry, don't get me wrong. Snyderverse has its own good points and all, but like I enjoyed it for what it was. Even though it was a mess, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the Snyder Cut a lot. It was actually one of the very few times when I am watching a movie and I go, fuck you. And like when I see Martian Manhunter comes out and I'm like going like, no way. So like it has a good points. I mean, but I really wanted this Superman. This is what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I've wanted him for a while.
I don't want a dark Superman. If I wanted a dark superhero, it's Batman.
Yeah.
Like
essentially. Yeah.
They should have given Zack Snyder Batman. And then, they could have had Ben Affleck as Batman. That would have been fine.
They tried to course correct, with the Snyder cut of Justice League. They did try to course correct with making Superman a bit more like the Superman we know.
Right.
But with this, I loved him. I thought he was great. I mean, he used the word golly,
Yeah. Right when you say that, oh golly, I got to save this squirrel.
Yeah,
amazing.
And shucks, I'm really I can be such a jerk sometimes, and it's like,
yeah.
And what I loved about it was, and I was talking to my wife about it, was, you do see a very short amount of time of Clark, right? And I've always had this thing where like people always quote the Kill Bill monologue about Superman, about how Superman has to pretend to be Clark Kent and blah blah. And I've always seen the opposite. I've always seen that Clark is the real person and Superman is just he's an act, right? Like Batman, Batman's always been that's Batman, Bruce Wayne's a mask, whatever. But I've always felt the opposite with Superman. So for me, it's like the way he was playing Clark Kent was he was just playing, I'm Clark, I'm a dork, and that's what I loved that. I love the casting for the Daily Planet. Like I said, they looked all perfect. I loved how all the colors were like a comic book, which was great.
Which is what was needed because the Snyderverse was so dark. I sometimes had to brighten my television in order to see what the hell's going on.
Essentially, yeah. And I also liked a lot of the supporting characters, like and I thought Lex Luthor was great. I mean, there's that scene with the gun, which was just go, whoa, like this guy he's gone, he'll cross that line no matter, like he does not care whatsoever. And Guy Gardner, perfect. I mean, Nathan Fillion actually said that he played Guy Gardner like Sophia from the Golden Girls. Like he played her, he played him back, So
that's
he's like,
funny.
Yeah, and and also one thing that my wife actually hit me in the shoulder when they mentioned this was, I've always said that if I ever did a Superman comic book or wrote for a Superman show, whatever. The way I would explain the glasses would be, it's like the glasses are krypton technology that give you face blindness, right? And that's how people can. And then they mentioned it in the movie, and like my wife goes like, "See, you're awesome," I'm like, "Yeah."
It was also in the '70s comic books.
It wasn't in the comics, but they play more like super hypnosis, right?
Super hypnosis in the comic.
So it didn't really work that well. That people always go like, "Oh, that's dumb," and I'm like, "No, the glasses part, that's really cool." And so that was great. All those things were really great. I really loved it about it.
All right, Billy.
I gotta mention one thing also thinking about this, because this is also another fun piece of trivia with DC, because a lot of this movie was also based off a comic book called Superman Birthright.
And
in that, they established one other thing that I thought was kind of funny, because there's an issue of that miniseries where Superman goes on a yacht and gets mistaken for Bruce Wayne.
Oh, really?
That's
because apparently their faces look so similar that people couldn't tell the difference, and it was before he started using the glasses as a disguise. that when somebody tried to kidnap Bruce Wayne on a yacht, they ended up kidnapping Clark instead.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm like, and Superman stops like some terrorist on a yacht, and they give the credit to Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne stops these criminals.
No, but I just love that because, like, just the thing I love about this is the fact that Superman is hopeful. He's like, it's post-crisis Superman. It is for people that started reading comic books in the days of comic book shops.
Yeah.
And the post-crisis. I mean, the Kents are still alive. I love that the Kents are still alive because I grew up with the DCAU. I grew up with 1986 comics with John Byrne. Even with the death of Superman in the comic books, when Superman was resurrected from the dead, Pa Kent had a heart attack, and in the afterlife, convinced Clark to come back.
Essentially,
yeah.
So
I remember that. It was like his hand was reaching out.
Yeah. So like not having the Kents always hurt Superman for me. I always was like, the thing about Superman is a lot of people get blinded by the super and they forget the man, and that's the thing with Superman. He's Clark Kent. He was raised on Earth. He spent the first part of his life from infancy to teenhood without superpowers. So he did grow up with the farm values and all that stuff. He didn't develop his powers until puberty, and then hid them until he was like 25 when he became Superman.
Yeah.
He is Clark Kent. He's not, oh, he's Kal-El and he pretends to be Clark Kent. It's like, no, he's Clark Kent. He really is that clumsy, oafish, like scatterbrained, like little hick. He he really does put his foot in his mouth. He does stumble over his words and does all the stuff that, and is naive like that. And I like that they played his naivete. I mean, like, he is not like infallible. I don't like that every now and again you'll see the Injustice Superman or you'll see the Snyderverse Superman, and it's like, with all that power, who would stop him? And it's like, well, technically his parents, because they raised him better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, he would probably, I mean, we saw this and he chose to save a goddamn squirrel. And he admonishes Mr. Terrific for using lethal force on the kaiju.
Yes.
Yeah. You could have saved him, man. We could have
like, you could have taken him to a zoo. And it's like, wait, you could have taken him to an alien zoo?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I was going over my notes. David covered a lot of it. But a couple of things that I really appreciate was when they were going in those pocket universes and you get these really incredible fight scenes in the darkness, but I could still see what was going on. So maybe certain directors in the world will understand that you can do dark things and still see the characters doing stuff. So that's my rant on that. But I think what really worked best in this movie was that I felt a sense of connection between the characters, like Jimmy Olsen, Perry, I think Clark Kent, all of them really meshed well together. Lois, that worked really well. And I thought it was hilarious that Jimmy Olsen was the stud getting all the women and saving the day.
Case wide open. He broke the case wide open.
He's the one.
And also, like, none of the characters were dumb in this. Like, I even loved when Perry saw like Lois and Superman go off. He's like, how long has that been going on? And she was like, 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, like everybody knew. Yeah.
Even Lombard is like, he's like a jerk, but like it's like you can tell like he really likes Clark. Like he says, like, why are you using like adverbs, and like he's like criticizing his writing, and like, and he's not being like the jockey jerk that he is sometimes written in the comic books, which I thought was great. What's really funny, by the way, did you mention the Palm Kent? A couple things. Number one, their voices were actually James Gunn's friend. I forget. He's like some professional. He's involved in the film some way. I don't know if it's like a photography, like a cinematographer, something like that. He actually is from the Midwest, and he had his parents record, send them voicemails, and they actually did the voices of Mom and Pa Kent based on James Gunn's parents' friends. And also James Gunn was like, I grew up in kind of farmland, kind of like and so he wanted to make it look like an actual farm, and it actually does look like a farm. It's not like this like Norman Rockwell kind of like, big barn, kind of Smallville kind of thing. It actually does look like a real farm.
Yeah, very cool. And this hit on so many different levels. There's a lot of real fun moments with Hawk Girl or Hawk Woman when
Hawk
she
Girl.
Hawk Girl when she comes in screaming, and it wakes you up because it's so loud, but it fits, and it's kind of like how the original character was. So I really appreciated that, and I appreciated when Green Lantern, when they went to save the fake war, prevent it from happening, when he comes in and what is Metamorpho?
Yeah.
When Metamorpho, who comic accurate Metamorpho, it was incredible, like how they nailed it. I mean, the Green Lantern suit, the Hawk Girl suit, everything was to the money. It was perfect. This is one of the I would say that James Gunn is now giving Marvel a run for its money. If Fantastic Four doesn't live up to the hype, this is going to be the DC year comeback. I think that the roles are going to reverse, and then DC is going to have these epic films that are going to come out in succession, whereas Marvel's going to struggle a little bit, just how it was in the 90s. So I think this could be the beginning of a flip, but I don't want to jinx it. I just feel that way because of what I've seen in this movie and how much I love the Supergirl cameo. I thought she was awesome.
I'm looking forward to that.
And it explained why Crypto didn't obey Clark.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because she was
where's my dog?
See you later, bitch. Like, I love that. It was such a fun, and I just hope that, like, in the days of comics popularity, Supergirl kept getting killed. Like, one of the Supergirls was an alien. It really wasn't Supergirl. Darkseid killed Supergirl. Like, don't kill Supergirl. Stop. You just stop that killing.
Yeah.
You want to kill somebody off, kill somebody else off. Like, bring Henry Cavill back as a Superman and get him killed off. That works.
But Supergirl, I love that in they kind of played off the fact in the comic books she's a wild child.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been a Red Lantern. She's been Fury of Darkseid. She's been an evil Supergirl with black kryptonite, with red kryptonite. She's been like a Kandorian superhero, and she's gone to school. She's dropped out of school.
Yeah.
She's had a lot of interesting storylines that they kind of don't really seem to treat with respect.
Yeah.
And I also love that for the most part, they gave even the civilians respect in this. Like they had people being like, not just standing around like watching, like, ooh, look, something's gonna fall on me.
Yeah.
That one woman, when the building was falling, she was trying to get out. Like, she wasn't trying to, like, just go, the building. She just was like, oh crap, let me try to get, it was real world moments, which is what
I love that evacuation plans for super battles.
Yeah, that was cool.
With the Ninja Turtles in it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was cool. Because I mean, one of the big gripes from the Snyderverse, probably
was
Marvel,
that they destroyed so much of Metropolis, and like
all
the casualties, like they would
millions
like
of people died.
They pulled Invincible, basically. They were invincible, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I did like that they was like, all right, this is gonna happen. We need to leave, and they had people leaving, so you knew that most people didn't get completely killed. That's what worked. Now let's find what didn't work. All right, I'm gonna kick this one off because that troll bot monkey thing. I mean, though cute, and they were, to me, like the flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz. When I first saw it, and I did a cameo on Jason Roy Gaston channel, I felt like it was kind of an arc and a funny moment, but I felt in reality that, like, oh god, that's like kind of overdone. It's like, oh boy, how many times are we going to do this bot troll thing? And I know that was a kind of like a nod to the internet trolls, to the Snyderverse guys, the Snyder Bros.
Also, people that tried to cancel James Gunn.
Yeah, and the people that tried to cancel James, but I think mainly from the Snyder Bros, because they've just been hating on it. Like, somebody posted, and I'm in a Superman fan group, and somebody posted in there, oh, Superman didn't make its budget. It didn't go. It dropped 58% in the box office. And they were like, people like shut them down really quick. It's like, why are you making this poorly written meme and thinking that it's going to work and people can't Google the fact that you're wrong? And like they went into like the numbers and we're like, you see, this is 406 million. So it's already made its budget back and it's only been 2 weeks. Let me tell you how a week works. You get 7 days, like they really shot that guy down. And that's what you got to do with these trolls. Like you just get over it. You guys thing fell apart. I understand. He had a terrible tragedy and I feel terrible for what happened with Snyder because I have no ill will against him.
Yeah.
It's just his choices in color and filming and cinematography. That's my only gripe with him. He makes some cool stuff, but it's just too dark. And I think that's what the lesson is we're tired of dark shit. We need some color, bright, and hope. And that's what this movie is. And I think that's why it's doing so well. So what didn't work as the whole point of this section of the show? I think what didn't work was the troll farm and Lex Luthor disappearing people. Like, wouldn't they be on the lookout for them? Wouldn't there be like a missing persons report? Like his ex-girlfriend went missing and they weren't like, hey, where's my ex-girlfriend? Like the last time she was seen was with Lex Luthor. You know what I mean? Like there was no.
They let you get away with it.
Yeah. You just walk up on them and they let you grab them. Like, all right,
how do you resist that lie?
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what it is, but come on, geez, like that's awful. They just give two shits and these people just blip out of existence and nobody cares. I thought that Metamorpho's son being like an alien, like green alien kind of
comic.
Well, actually, that is a thing because like his son does grow up to be another Metamorpho type superhero that's part of the Outsiders called Shift.
Mm.
Oh wow! And was he like a green alien when he was born?
No, actually, he looks like a younger version of Metamorpho.
So I don't know why they chose a green alien. That was weird.
And he eventually ends up dating one of Brainiac's daughters, Indigo.
We're getting.
Oh, really? I never finished that comic book. So wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we got our comic guru here for a reason, man. He gets deep into the sauce. It's Sunday when we're filming this, so he's up there making the Sunday sauce, man. He's got it. Hey, Billy,
I gotta cover the round bases. I mean, like we don't have Brandon here, so we need somebody.
Yeah, Brandon. He's on a extended hiatus, we'll say, but for sure, excellent coverage everywhere else. It's just those kind of things, kind of like off and kind of unnecessary. That whole Phantom Zone thing, and I think that Ultraman didn't work because I want my Infinite Earths Ultraman where he's the head of the crime syndicate. I thought he used the pocket universe to pull Ultraman and go into an actual universe and go, oh, this is a superpowered Superman that's from another planet, and let's bring him here. And I thought that would have been a lot cooler if they would have done that instead of, oh, wow, the Fortress of Solitude opened up somehow when Ultraman came. You know what I mean? It's like, oh boy, so he's a clone. Like everybody got it. And I was like, oh boy, they could have totally done something else. Like, sure, it would have worked for him to get through if he was the alternate Superman, Ultraman from the crime syndicate. That would have still worked because it's the same guy. He's just a bad guy in that one. And I thought that was going to be cool, but that seemed to be like a whole other thing. And they just went far into another direction. So that was the only gripe for me. So that was my story. Billy, what didn't work?
All right, I'm going to say something different. I'm going to say the pacing is my thing.
Oh.
I feel like the movie could have actually probably been a bit longer or a little bit more focused. They were a little bit scatterbrained. You asked me, the movie, as much as I loved it, Crypto wasn't the only one chasing its squirrels.
Yeah.
It seemed like there was a lot of great ideas that they probably could have made 2 to 3 great movies out of this one movie. And instead they made like this one movie that I still was left wanting more, which is good. You always want to be left wanting more. But you also don't want to be like, wow, that was also rushed at the same time. You never want to rush a meal. You never want to rush like the enjoyment of a thing. You never want to be like, oh, that was great. This is the thing where, like, unlike the Snyderverse, I would have been okay with 2 to 3 hours of this.
Oh, wow. All right, Dave.
Yeah, exactly what Billy said. I feel like they drew 5 movies, ideas that could have been movies in itself, The fact that Jor-El and Lara were like go conquer and get a harem. That was, people are complaining about this. I'm like, have you not read the comic books? And also just common sense. These guys are aliens, and they're millions of years ahead of us. Of course, they're gonna see us as like, oh, those cute little monkeys. Like,
Yeah, Jor-El's currently a bad guy in the comics.
oh, okay, I didn't know that. But yeah, I think there was like, you could have made like 5 movies out of this. I felt that a lot of characters were shortchanged. I wanted more Daily Planet. Didn't get. It was very, very brief Daily Planet stuff. Only Jimmy and Lois got, and even them, I felt like they needed more time. I also was disappointed that Ultraman was not Bizarro. I thought that was a clear.
Oh, that's going to be his sequel. They set that up so obviously.
Yeah, I feel like they set it up for him to be.
Like, I thought it was going to be like right then and there, he's going to turn to Bizarro. And by the way, if you guys, because I haven't seen a comic book accurate Bizarro since there's a TV show. Not a lot of people know about it. It aired in the 90s, and it was called Superboy, and also and went to become Adventure Superboy. And they had the most comic book accurate Bizarro. Like, it was amazing. This guy played Bizarro just like Bizarro from the comic books. Like, me, I'm so happy. Like that, that character. And every other freaking adaptation of Bizarro, like Supergirl's Bizarro, and
if he's never an alternate reality
wow,
version,
yeah, I'm gonna pull up the image
one. He's always a clone that goes wrong.
This Bizarro from that TV show is amazing. I actually got to talk to him. Really nice guy. And he's, if you guys ever want to like watch a good show that didn't really get a lot of attention, Superboy and Adventures of Superboy, I grew up. That's how I actually got like a lot into the Superman comic books, because of this, because they had a lot of very comic accurate stories like Yellow Perry, and they had Mixie, because I can never pronounce his full freaking name. Mixelplick, yeah. And they had some great stories. They were actually the first show that ever actually mentioned the multiverse, where Clark goes to a world that he's a Nazi, and Clark goes to a world where he's actually gone rogue and killed Lex Luthor, and he is dressed like Con-El before Con-El was ever introduced in the comic books. So yeah, I felt like I wanted the Bizarro. I also felt that I was a little disappointed that Lex doesn't know Clark. Because they mentioned that he goes like, "Oh, go kill that reporter, Clark Kent." And I was like, "Oh man, like I really wanted him." There you go. That's he was great. And so except for the backwardness, he was perfect. But I really kind of wanted him to be like, oh, like Clark Kent, like he knows Clark Kent. He grew up with Clark Kent. And I guess they could kind of retcon a little bit by him pretending not to know Clark Kent, because he doesn't want to be revealed to be a hick, like Clark.
Or he could just be pretending they didn't know that Superman was Clark.
Well, yeah, that too. But like, I've always liked that whole dynamic about like how these two guys grew up, and if only had gone the other way, and Clark was the one who kind of kept him on, and because of bad timing, bad mistakes, it went horribly wrong. And like I always saw, like I kept picturing that like maybe like Clark was the guy who Lex talks to him in secret, and Clark is trying to keep him down, trying to keep him more grounded, but he can't. And that's when Superman comes in. We have to be Superman to kind of like stop him from crossing the line. But anyway, that's like beside the point. It was like one little thing that kind of bugged me. But yeah, like I thought that like a lot of it. And also there was moments where they're going to go for this big emotional scene and gag. Like there's that scene where Lex is talking at the end. He's like giving his big monologue, and it starts getting really good, and then Crypto comes and almost mauls him, and it's a great gag. Don't get me wrong, I love the gags, but
it's
like
a God gag from Avengers. It's kind of
it's a gag, and that's great. I love the gag and all, but like, give me some time where like I'm actually kind of connecting emotionally with this character, because Lex, even though he was great, even though he was threatening, I wanted more of his motivation. I wanted more of him interacting with Superman. I want him to interact with other characters like Lois. I wanted to interact with his freaking henchmen more, or even Tess to a certain extent. Like I didn't get that, and you're right, Bill. I think that it should have been another, like hopefully one day maybe there'll be a director's cut or something like that. I don't know.
James Gunn's actually known for not having because he just what he wants is in it.
Exactly. Like I always tell my wife that if I had a superpower to go, I would travel to other alternate universes and get TV shows and movies that were like never made, And
Oh wow, yeah.
so like, my wife wants me to go to the universe where Eric Stoltz was in Back to the Future, see how bad it was.
Oh wow, and it was never a hit, and they
It
only
was
made
never a
one
hit,
of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's always her big conversation with me. She goes like, that poor man, like he's the guy that always that people pick to like go like, if a movie didn't do well, it's because Eric Stoltz was in it.
Mm.
But beside the point, I'm sorry to kind of go off topic there, but yeah, like I wanted more time with these characters. I wanted to see Cat Grant, I wanted to see Perry.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was Cat Grant because like she said some words, but then I was like, well, who is she? Like,
Yeah.
if I didn't IMDb it, I would have never known.
Yeah, I wanted more of the reporters there. One of them only got like barely a line. Do you know who that was, Billy? He was a character from the 90s. He was a reporter. I'll get it later. But yeah, he some of the characters were like, I know these characters. I know they're good characters, and they get one line or they get barely half a scene. I mean, it's kind of it's if you read between the lines, you can tell that Kat's really into Clark, and yeah, I thought those are the one things that I'm kind of bugged by. Like I wanted more time with these characters, and it was great to see Justice Gan, and it was great to see the Pocket Universe, and it was great to see Clark Punstins, which is great. I've wanted that for a while, but I wanted more of the characters, and I felt like they were throwing so many things that could have been its own movie that they should maybe like cut some of that down to like save that for later, save that for like the next movie.
Yeah,
because they had such great character actors for a lot of these roles too. I mean, these weren't like bad actors. These are like actors that you've seen in other projects, and you're like, I want to see how this character, how they handle this character. I want to see them with more screen time.
Yeah, and the other thing that kind of bugged me was, and you actually mentioned a good thing, Joe, the fact that like they kind of figure out that Lois and Superman are hooking up, and it's like, well, I kind of want to be more like it's Clark and Lois are hooking up, not like Superman and Lois are hooking up. It just feels like, I don't know.
The question is, do you think that they know that Clark is Superman?
Well, he has the glasses.
No, they don't know that.
They don't know he has the glasses, so and same thing with Lex. He has the glasses, so
yeah. All right. Well, we talked about what worked. We talked about what didn't. We're gonna go into the reception. All right, man. This was well reviewed. The negative reaction to Superman has nothing to do with the film's merit. Yes, a lot of the negativity comes from the same old fray of the the basement babies that are upset that they didn't get what they wanted. We have that same problem in Star Trek, and Star Wars has that same issue too. They completely were trying to, and this is what I love, they did the same thing in Marvel, where they were trying to flash trash these movies on Rotten Tomatoes and just like negative bomb the whole shebang, but it didn't work because it's 83% fresh and 92% popcorn fresh. So that means the audience and the critics both agree that this is a great movie. So whatever you did it in vain because it didn't work.
You know what's funny about that too is that the trolls are using the word #super shit, and I'm like, that's a joke against you. You're actually making fun of yourself.
Yeah, like you're the super shit.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. Yeah.
So
I love that, and I think Gunn did that. And the other thing I want to bring up is the box office. It smashed records. It is, I mean, it's not $1 billion in a weekend or anything like that, but it is 406 million, and this is without China because China doesn't want this property. So to get this high a number on its second rollout is very impressive,
especially without China.
Yeah, this is especially without China.
I mean, pretty much almost Marvel's every $1 billion movie they've had has had Chinese release.
Yes, if it wasn't for China, Marvel would not have the big
the $1 billion box office.
Yeah, they wouldn't have those. And this is almost halfway there, and it's only been 2 weeks, and there's no China. So I think this is fantastic for Superman. I think that there still has more countries. It's not out in Russia yet. I'm not sure if it will be out in Russia, but like
considering that little subplot there. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
that's the other fun thing I would say with the reception. Like the fun thing about this is I would say the movie is not political, but for some reason everybody keeps on saying it's political.
Mm-hmm.
Because like almost everything you see in this thing, it's like a Rorschach test. You can put your own politics into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You could say like I saw like some people talking about like current events and stuff. It's like You could say that war was 10 years ago or 15 years ago and say that was the Iraq war. It would have been the exact same plot.
Yeah.
You could say it was the Ukraine war. It would be the exact same plot. You could say it's the Gaza-Palestine war. Same plot. It doesn't matter which war it is. It's pretty much a war is happening and it's two countries. And that's what happened.
And sadly, there will always be a war like that.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately, yeah. So, yeah. And that's going to wrap it up. Let's just talk about a final glance. I mean, we got to talk about those after credits. We get Supergirl, and we get Mr. Terrific, and who actually unsung hero in this movie, Mr. Terrific. He was another brilliant mind. He
definitely was the standard breakout character.
Yeah.
Looking forward to him getting his own movie, or Justice the Gang getting their own movie, or as making it more like the Keith Giffen era of the Justice League of America. Looking forward to that.
I'm not sure if the reason why they didn't use the name Justice League is because most of those members are Justice Society members.
No. Isn't Guy Gardner's from the Justice League of America? Mr. Terrific definitely is, and Hawkgirl, yeah, of course she is from the Justice. But Guy Gardner is not. Guy Gardner's always been from the Keith Giffen.
I know that was formerly Alan Scott's role with the Justice Society.
Yeah, exactly.
But and I know Justice League and Justice League International is more Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner, Blue Beetle, Booster Gold. Two of my favorite characters are like the Abbott and Costello of DC Comics. But like that, Mr. Terrific's gonna be great. I'm gonna love to see his own movie. I wouldn't be surprised if it does happen more sooner than later. And also, we had a great after credit scene that's gonna be a screensaver for a lot of people on their computers. So
yeah, fantastic, Billy.
I gotta say, I love this movie. I also love, as weird as that was to say, I actually kind of love the fact that now Iggy Pop is associated with Superman.
Superman, yeah.
And just the fact that like Iggy Pop was a bad guy in like one of the Crow sequels and a second Crow movie. And like now he's like the soundtrack of Superman. And it's just so weird. Like I'm a Punk Rocker is now a Superman song. And
which is great.
That is awesome. I love that. Just the fact that like that's like farm boy music now.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's not a country music fan. He's actually like a rocker, and I kind of a different take on Superman, and I like that. Just he still has like the middle America values and stuff like that, and then they still put in like obscure like pop culture stuff. And just I can't shut up about this movie. It's if you haven't seen it yet, see it. If you did see it again.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go see it again on Tuesday with a buddy of mine. So
this is my second time watching it. I give it a complete thumbs up. I think some people are going to have issues with it. Some people are going to be upset that like it starts. I kind of had a little bit of an issue with the way it started with like it's like just it starts in the middle of the story. My wife actually kind of convinced me, hey, no, it's actually a good thing. It's like you're picking up a comic book in the middle of a run, reading it, which is great. So now people are going to have some issues, but I think overall it's a great movie. I think it has its flaws. I think it poses a lot of good questions for future Superman movies and Superman properties. I'm looking forward to a lot of spinoffs. I think it's great. I think this is exactly what I wanted and a lot of people wanted, which is a hopeful superhero. And that's exactly what we need.
I got one last thing to say. Like for some of the fans or some of the internet trolls that say like it's annoying that movie starts off with the text scroll. I'll just say this. A long time ago in a galaxy far away.
And all right, so I'm going to share this because I was watching one of the interviews with David Corenswet. That was actually his idea because he's a Star Wars fan, and they were like, "Oh, we kind of want to explain this to the audience, but without having to go through this whole thing." And he was like, "Why don't we scroll it like Star Wars? We'll just have the text come across." And the rest is history.
Yeah.
So get over yourself.
Yeah, I love that they said like he's been Superman for 3 years and everybody's cool with it.
Yeah,
it's fine. Like we don't really need to see the freaking origin again. Like,
and I'm so glad Gunn has said the next Batman movie is not going to be an origin, and he's not going to be doing origin stories because it's overdone.
I'm definitely interested in seeing where that direction is going to go. Is he going to go full on Dark Knight? Is he going to go more Denny O'Neil era? What's going to happen here?
Well, I can tell you this right now from what I was reading. It's going to be Supergirl first.
Yeah. Would
then
love-
it's going to be a Mr. Terrific property, which may either be the Justice Gang or maybe the Justice Society, because apparently they've been like talking to people. And then the rumor has it that they're going to recap. There is going to be the follow up to the Sparkly Batman. What was that? Just Batman.
The Batman.
The
The
Batman.
Batman. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's going to be a follow up to that, The Batman, but it's going to be because they have this old incel world where they have the movies that were done before Gunn took over that did well.
Yeah.
That are going to get follow ups. And those movies are going to be like just DC Black
Mhm.
type of thing.
The
So-
Elseworlds kind of situation. Yeah.
What's that?
Elseworlds, basically.
Elseworlds, yeah, basically. So Shazam's done, but I heard that they might do a new Batman that'll go and fit in with this current Superman. And the rumor is the gentleman that plays Amazon Prime show
Reacher?
for Jack Reacher, yeah, he's up for Batman.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I could see it. But then I also heard that Henry Cavill is up for Batman.
I actually, there's been rumors for a long time that freaking what's this guy's name?
There's a
Matt-
rumor that Henry Cavill was going to be Ultraman in this thing. So that's
Yeah, some of these rumors just don't pan out to be
Yeah,
anything.
like I know people really wanted what's this guy's name? Mad Men, the guy from Mad Men.
Ham.
Ham, yeah. People wanted John Hamm for a long time.
John Hamm wanted to be Batman for a long time, which
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. He'd be a great Bruce Wayne.
Mhm.
But he's a big dude. If he just hits the gym pretty hard,
Oh yeah,
I think he'd be a great Batman.
yeah.
Hey, at least he can still settle for the fact that he was voice of Superman and All-Star Superman.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. We thank you so much for hanging out with us, watching this current iteration of the Superman 2025. We had a blast. We appreciate you. We just want to make sure that you like, share, and subscribe because that helps us out so much. The more you like, the more you share, the more you subscribe and tell people to do the same. The further we go up, and away. So we'll be back for probably Fantastic Four, and then we've got the new show debuting pretty soon.
About
So-
the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, fantastic. Also Fantastic Four. So be sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss out on those things, and we will see you soon. Bye, bitch.